Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Sal the Car Gal and let's talk about some F1 stuff. So this episode today, I thought I would do my predictions for the 2025 F1 season, and I thought I'd be brave and do these predictions before testing and go into it a little bit blind and delusional, as us F1 girlies like to be. And so I'm going to do my predictions for the Constructors and the Drivers Championship, and then 3 wild predictions, and then maybe one rogue one which I'll make up on the fly. So here we go. So my Constructors Championship P10 to P1, so I'm going to go from P10 upwards. So my P10 is Sauber, and I put Sauber there because just going off last year, and I don't fully know if they're going to be putting in as much knowledge, and maybe not knowledge but focus, that's probably the better word, focus into this year's car as opposed to next year's car, when Audi's coming in and supposedly having their own engine manufacturer. So yeah, I think more focus will be on the future. Hopefully they still have a good car, hopefully it's still better and improved from last year, but I just don't see them making as much of an improvement between maybe last year and next year. So, well, no, I expect them to have more an improvement next year. My P9 is Haas, and the reason I say this is because I feel like the other teams are going to be slightly better, for one. Also, they have a whole new driver lineup, so that maybe might make things a little bit trickier. I don't know. Okay, so P8. P8 I put RB, Racing Bulls. The reason behind this is they've got a rookie coming in Isaac Hadjar, and as we know, rookies can be sometimes push the limits maybe a little bit too much. I mean, I haven't really seen much of Isaac in an F1 car to know kind of what his driving style or where he would go with that, but and going off last year, like, their car wasn't really that good. I mean, Yuki did well in it, but Yuki's also been driving that car for a while, so you'd expect him to be, or have a little bit more grips with the car and understand it a little bit more. And kind of similar along the lines with Haas, that I just think other teams will be better. So yeah. So then my P7 is Alpine, and Alpine, it's a very good question why I put them P7. It's also probably along the lines of, I think others will be better, but I think I'm also delusional in some other teams that I have put higher in the Constructors, because I really hope that they do well. But I think with Alpine, I think Jack is going to do absolutely everything he can to perform well, and I think what's really nice is that Jack's been promoted as a reserve driver to full-time driver and was also part of the academy, and I think that's also really important to commend the loyalty he's had to the team. But I think that also works two ways, and he's going to do everything he can for the team he's worked with for a long time. And I think same with Pierre as well. Like he did really well last year, and yeah, I think they're going to have a good season, and hopefully a much better start to the season than they did last year. So kind of starting off how they ended would be a very nice, not surprise, but start, which will be really lovely. And so, which brings me to my P6, which was what the delusional thing I was talking about before. I put Williams as my P6 because I really think, and from what I've heard and seen, is that Carlos is quite happy with the car. I mean, as happy as you can be. He said his first impressions were really positive, and that feeds my delusion that Williams is going to do well. I think they've got a great driver lineup in Alex and Carlos, and I am really, really excited to see where it goes. Yes, so I'm very excited. So that's my reasons why they are in P6. So my P5 is, to be honest, kind of similar how it turned out last year, because I don't think there's going to be much wiggle room between these next 5 teams. But my P5 is Aston Martin, and my reasoning behind that is because they've now got Adrian Newey on board, and I think he's going to be a very welcomed member to the team, and I think it'll be nice to maybe breathe some life back into that team, give them a little bit more positivity, and I don't know, just anything really for one, to maybe bring them up, get them more points in the constructors. I don't think they'll go any higher than P5. Obviously, I've predicted them P5, so that's where they're going to go. But I think just having that little bit extra oomph, and I don't really know how to describe it. My words have escaped me, but I feel like you sort of know what I mean. That if they can have that little extra shove, maybe it will inspire some drivers too. So my P4 is going to be Mercedes, and the reason behind this is I think Kimi's going to drive really well. Toto has been really positive and really excited about welcoming him into the team, and with that positive energy and positive vibe, I think that will foster quite a good relationship. But also, if you're happy within your outside world, you're happy in your inside world, and that will also, well, that got deep for a second, but I think that will give them good results. And obviously they've got George as well, who is a very talented driver, so I think that's why I put them as P4. My P3 is Red Bull. I think they're going to be P3, obviously, that's what I said, but Liam is their new addition to the team, and Liam's driven the car, or driven a few races I should say, hasn't driven the car, but driven a few races and performed quite well. They obviously saw a lot in him, so now he's been promoted to the big boy team, and I think he will be a nice number 2 driver for Max, who's obviously their main priority and has been for a long time. And I think Liam will do his job very well to be a good second driver. Unfortunately, that couldn't be Sergio Perez, as he has unfortunately shown over the past 2 years. But I guess that's the Formula One business, and Red Bull has always been quite brutal. So it is what it is, I guess. So then my P2. I wonder who it's going to be. McLaren. I think McLaren is going to be P2 this year. They came along so well and finished that season so brilliantly. Started it so brilliantly. But the problem with that is everyone then can catch up in the winter break. So I think Lando and Oscar are going to do their absolute damnedest, and as Oscar has said in an interview that I've seen, that he is gunning for that Drivers' Championship. So if we've got a battle on our hands in the McLaren team, who knows whether that will be positive and they can get maximum points out of each other and work together, or it will be the opposite. Which I really hope not, because I think those two are genuinely pals. So it would be disappointing to see that go sour. Which brings me to my P1, my golden child and forever fangirl of the magnificent Ferrari. I think they're going to kill it. Or I delusionally hope that they're going to kill it. But why not? They've got Lewis. They've got Charles. They've got the golden boy and the goat. Like, come on. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see them. I'm so excited to see Lewis in Ferrari. I'm so excited to see them as a team working together. And I think they're going to kill it. I do. I really do. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how that comes about, how that plays in. Oh, it's so exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so that is my P10 to P1 for the constructors. So we've got my P20 to P1 drivers predictions. Here we go. So I think P20 is going to be Gabriele Bortoleto, and pretty similar lines as to what I was saying. Sauber probably isn't going to be the greatest team on the grid. Gabriele, I haven't really seen him drive. He's going to be new to the Sauber organisation because he was a McLaren junior driver. Yeah, new to F1, new to everything. And I just don't see him doing any better than that. Sorry about it. So then my P19, Nico Hülkenberg. And I think that kind of just speaks volumes as to what I think that Sauber is going to be able to do. So then my P18, I think, will be Isaac Hadjar. Kind of along the similar lines to Gabriele, hasn't had as much experience in an F1 car. Plus, in an RB, I'm not expecting podiums and wins, that kind of thing. Expecting points, but not a lot of points. P17, Esteban Ocon. Now, we know from the past that Esteban, he might be a nice guy, but teammate wise, he has a history of not really being very forgiving, and hopefully I will be proved wrong in that, because he has a rookie by his side, and I hope that he can be a good influence and a good, which I think he will be anyway, but sometimes things can get out of hand when competitive energy comes into it. But I think Esteban will be P17, plus he's in a Haas, so there's also that to play into it. Which then, controversially, I've put his teammate above him in P16. Ollie has proven he can score points in both a Ferrari and a Haas, which he did throughout last season. I think he is an incredible talent. Obviously, he might be a little bit held back by being in a Haas rather than a Ferrari, but I think he's going to kill it. He's going to do his best, and I'm excited to see that. So P15 is Jack Doohan, kind of along similar lines as Ollie. He's in an Alpine. We're not expecting crazy results, but a few points here and there I think will definitely be seen. He's also a rookie, doesn't have as much experience, but he's going to do his best. Then P14, Yuki Tsunoda. I'm expecting definitely points much more often for Yuki, but as we know, the RB can be quite inconsistent and unreliable, but Yuki has proven for the past couple of years that he can drive that thing very well and still score points and outscore his teammate. Next, P13 is Kimi Antonelli. So the reason why he's a little bit lower and outside the top 10 is because he is a rookie. Not as much experience, but how do you gain experience? With experience. And I think why he's also higher than some of the other rookies is because he's in a Mercedes. P12, Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is Lance Stroll. And the only reason why he is higher, because he's going to be in that Aston Martin, and hopefully Adrian Newey will be giving that a fresh look, fresh everything, and it gives them the boost that they need, but it's still also Lance Stroll. So I'll just leave it at that. P11, Alex Albon. I think we're going to see the Alex that we saw in 2023, but renewed, revamped, and coming out of those gates like no tomorrow. I think we're going to see a very inspired and motivated Alex to do well, because I think the teammate that sits beside him is now more of an equal. The other teammates that Alex has had, especially in Nicholas Latifi and Logan Sargent, he has definitely been the higher one of the two, in terms of scoring points. He had more of an ability to score points, and Franco Colapinto was coming up there. Alex was still a little bit higher, but Franco maybe was getting up to being his equal, but Carlos Sainz definitely. They're a very strong driver pairing, and as I have said countless times in this video already, I am so excited to see them together, and that's why I put him P11. So P10 is the wonderful Pierre Gasly. I think he's also going to be refreshed, inspired, motivated. He's now got a teammate beside him that there's no bad blood, there's no bad history, and they will work together to bring Alpine back to where they deserve to be. But I think Pierre definitely has got a fire lit under his bum, and he's ready to get back to where, up there. 9, Carlos Sainz. You can tell I was delusional when I was making this. Look, I think Williams is going to be great. I really do. And I think that's why I've also placed Carlos and Alex quite close together, because I think they are going to be so evenly matched. But I do just think Carlos has that slight little advantage of having a little bit more experience in different racing cars, not only high scoring cars like a Ferrari, but he's also been in that Renault that maybe wasn't as high scoring, but he's seen the two sides of the coin, and without doubt he always performs. Maybe we see a Williams podium. Please may we see a Williams podium with either Alex or Carlos, but God, wouldn't that be so cool? Oh my God, I think I would probably cry. Anyway, moving on. P8, I have put Fernando Alonso. So, kind of along similar lines as Lance Stroll, but not in terms of driving ability. Fernando has definitely shown that he can drive that car to its absolute limits, but I think with Adrian Newey being there, maybe it will be a better car for him. Who knows if they'll get podiums? Maybe, hopefully. Shake things up a little this year. Hopefully it's a lot more close-knit, which will then probably all go in the bin next year when they change the engine regulations. But that's fine. That's fine. So, P7. Liam Lawson. Highest ranking, because I'm counting him as a rookie. Highest ranking rookie that I've put. And the reason why I've put him there is because he's in a Red Bull. And he's a talented driver. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. Next, P6, George Russell. George, talented driver in a Mercedes, did well last year, do well again this year. He'll have a few wins in there, hopefully a few, probably more podiums in there. P5, Oscar Piastri. Ooh, I think this is where my delusion is coming in. I think Oscar is going to do his damnedest to try and get that driver's championship, but I think there are a few other drivers on the grid that are just a little bit hungrier for it. Not to invalidate Oscar's want for a championship, but I think there's other people that I haven't mentioned yet that have sniffed it and want to taste the victory and just want it a little bit more. Then my P4 is Max Verstappen. Max, I don't think will be as dominant coming out of the gates, mainly because they've lost Adrian Newey. Not to say that that Red Bull car isn't a speed demon, and he will do his absolute damnedest to make it as quick as possible. But I think that just that little extra advantage has been taken away, and they don't have that over others anymore. Yeah, I think he's kind of not out of the picture, but will be there as a very fierce competitor and taking points off my top 3. So my P3 is Lewis Hamilton. Controversial. Not really, but some people may think it's controversial. I think Lewis is going to do his absolute damnedest to drive that car to its absolute limits. Plus, I think Ferrari is his last stop for getting that 8th world title before he retires, and I think he's going to get that 8th world title. I just don't think it's going to be this year. Because, I mean, not because, but I think it will be interesting to see who they prioritize, because Charles is their golden boy, and he's been brought up in the Ferrari family since he was a young junior driver and has only really raced with Ferrari engines in Formula One. Lewis is obviously the GOAT, and coming in with his caliber is going to be tricky for them, and it will just be interesting to see what their dynamic is as teammates on the track and off the track. But yeah, I don't think it'll be this year. I think he needs to warm up to the car a little bit more, and maybe next year. Who knows? So my P2, and sorry for my Lando girlies out there. I'm also a Lando girly, but I think you can already tell who I want to have P1. So P2 is Lando Norris. I think he's gonna sniff it again this year and not quite taste it. And I will be heartbroken for him. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna happen this year. I do see him as a world champion, but I just don't think it will be this year. Yeah, I just have a feeling. And you can't really mess with the feelings. So my P1 is the amazing and wonderful, talented Charles Leclerc. I truly believe he's going to do it this year. And I saw a really nice video on TikTok that if Charles wins the Drivers' Championship this year, it will be the 16th Drivers' Championship who has driven for Ferrari. And he is number 16. That is literally probably been the fact since Kimi won the last Ferrari championship in 2007. But I feel like that fact is just bubbling in the front of my mind. And I'm also a delusional Charles Leclerc fan. And I think he deserves it. I mean, they all deserve it. They all try their hardest. They're all very extremely talented. And most of them, if not all of them, deserve to be there and drive in Formula One. And it's his time. He got over his hurdle of winning Monaco last year. Championship is next hurdle. So yeah, I think he's going to win it. And I'm going to be really excited when he does. And I cried so much when he won the Monaco race and when he won Monza. Like, I was a blabbering mess. So if he wins a driver's championship, I think I might just have to take the day, because that will be a lot for me to process. And maybe one of the happiest days of my life. And I will revel in that happiness for a very long time. And then want it to happen over and over and over again. So yeah, I'm delusional. But there's facts to back it up, so it's fine. But yeah, I think it's going to happen. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. So, to move on to my 3 wild predictions. First wild prediction is each rookie scores points at least once. Who I'm counting as a rookie is Gabriele Bortoleto, Ollie Behrman, Isaac Hadjar, Kimi Antonelli, Jack Doohan, Liam Lawson. So it's 6 rookies. Very likely that Liam Lawson is going to score points, but the others, well, score points more, but the others, yeah, they're all going to score at least once. So, my next one is the Drivers' Championship goes down to the last race, which will make this very, very exciting season. And then my last wild prediction is that there is going to be an all-British driver podium at the British Grand Prix. I thought, why not throw that in there? That's a bit spicy. Who knows which 3 that will be, but hopefully it's a red, an orange, and a black car, if the Mercedes is a black car, and red obviously being Ferrari and orange being McLaren. Duh. I don't know if I'm a fortune teller or anything, but those are my wild predictions. Now, I've come up to the part where I'm gonna say one rogue prediction. And my rogue prediction is, let me think about this, make it be as delusional as possible. I think the Drivers' Champion is going to have a grand total of 400 points on the dot. So the Drivers' Champion is going to have 400 points. That's quite a lot of points. I don't know if the math be math in there, but that's what I'm saying. That is my rogue prediction. 400 points. That is going to be the winner. That is going to be Charles Leclerc's score at the end of this season. Let it be known. Putting it out into the universe. That is my rogue prediction. So, the countdown to the first race now is only 28 days away. Melbourne is 28 days away. I'm so excited, and making this video has made me more excited. I honestly cannot wait. It's gonna be so good. The amount of drama and amazingness that is going to happen at Albert Park this year for the season opener is going to be crazy. And I think what's even more special is my home race is going to be the season opener. It's the first time anyone is going to see any of them race, and I get to be there. And I am so grateful and so happy and so excited that I can do that. I wish everyone could. Because being at a race, it's not the same as watching it on the TV. Like the atmosphere, the sound, the goosebumps that you get when you hear the cars on track. And not just the Formula 1 cars, like the F2 cars, the F3 cars, the Porsche cars, like any cars on the track. Just, I'm even getting goosebumps now. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And hopefully some of you are also going to be there. Hopefully some of you are going to a different race, another race. Hopefully you will get to see at least one race in your lifetime. I pray that that happens, because it is truly a special and unforgettable experience that I hope every Formula One fan can experience in their lifetime. And I cannot say that enough. And meet their favorite driver, because that's amazing. But that is that. So thank you everyone so much for listening, and don't forget to follow along on social media and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So exciting. And leave a comment or review or rating, even 5 stars for audio listening platforms as well, if you love it that much. Anything is appreciated. Also, tell your friends, tell your family, tell lots of people about this, because I want everyone to be included in my delusional happy land of Formula One, because it is the greatest place to be. And anyways, have a beautiful day and an amazing week, and I will see you next time. Peace out.